The Ministry of Agriculture, Food Production, Fisheries, Cooperatives and Rural Development, through its Extension and Advisory Services Division, presents Tutorials for Peri-urban Home Gardening.
Hi, I am Vernet James and welcome once again to Tutorials for Peri-urban Home Gardening. In our last program, we focused on some crops that could be included in your garden. Today, we start off the nursery.
Once you have decided on the crops and on the varieties that you would want, and you have purchased the seeds, then it is time to get started. Before sowing, ensure that the seeds are viable, meaning they have not expired. And even with viable seeds, you may not get 100% results, even if the seeds are sown in perfect conditions.
The seeds we are going to use in the exercise this morning are lettuce seeds. Ian can just hold that. These are cucumber seeds and also sweet pepper seeds.
One way you could ensure that you have good seeds is to get them or purchase them from a reliable company. Seeds can be planted in these specially designed trays or boxes.
First off, in sowing of your seeds, the basic items you require to carry out this activity are your container here, your seed trays, your watering can, and obviously your seeds.
Like good seeds, trays can be obtained from a home and garden depot near you at a price I am sure you can afford. You can also construct your own seed box, or you can use some form of recycled containers for your nursery box. Once you have decided which of these you will use, prepare a growing medium using peat moss or a compost mixture.
So first off, we're going to have our peat moss in the container. Remember I said that that's a sterile substrate. It's free from bacteria, fungi. You can purchase it at the stores that sell it small bags, any amount you want. First, you put the peat moss in the container. Following, you use your watering can to water the peat moss for moisture. You need to have enough moisture so that you can put the peat moss in the tray that we have here.
Add sufficient water and mix to uniformity before placing it in the tray or in your box.
So we're demonstrating here how you mix the peat moss with water. You don't want it to be too you want it to be moist enough so that it can fit nicely in the trays. Okay. Good. Okay. I think, yeah, good. So now we have enough water in here. What we are going to do right now, we're going to take that peat moss and transfer it to the seedling tray. Okay. What it's doing right now, we don't want the peat moss to be stacked in the tray. We want it to fit evenly. Okay. These are some of the trays you can use for celery, parsley. So we don't want it to be too compressed. We want fitted neatly in. Then so that you can get proper peat moss in the rooting area. Apply some more. Okay, now we have our peat moss in the trays. What we are going to do now, I think you should just get your hands cleaned off. We are going to clean our hands so that we don't contaminate any of the seeds.
In each cell, insert one seed in a hole about half an inch deep, then cover lightly.
The reason why we use trays is because it's more efficient to use trays, and with the trays you only put one seed per hole, compared if you're going in the open field where you put two seeds. But with the trays you get a better germination, so we put one seed per hole. So each hole you go about a half inch deep with the cucumber seeds. So you dig little holes in the cubicles in the tray, and then you put one seed per hole. So normally we'd have to get all the holes done and then put the seeds in the holes. Following the sowing of the seeds, we take some more peat moss and we cover it lightly. Right. Okay, so we cover it lightly with some more peat moss. That's why I said we had to knock the tray down, so we'll not fill it to the top before. Oh, so here we go. Now our seeds are in the tray, and we can transfer our seeds to the area of care, which would be, let's see.
Sprinkle with water regularly so that the medium in the cell is always moist. Depending on which crop you have chosen, you will realize that your seeds will start germinating within a few days.
And as I was saying, you monitor for pest and disease, especially one of the major problems we have in the nursery is damping off. Okay, so you have to monitor for damping off. Some of the things that you can use, as Mr. Noble said earlier, is Banrot, Ileate, Rhizolex. These are some of the pesticides that you can use to control.
So how do one detect that damping off? What are the symptoms?
Well, the plant basically starts wilting and it falls back. Okay, that's one of the symptoms for damping off. The plant starts to wilt and falls back. You might think it's a water problem, but it can be caused by high moisture and humidity.
So when you're saying wilt, can you use another word for wilt?
Oh, wilt is drying up. Basically, the plant would show signs of drying up. But it don't necessarily have to mean it's lack of water. It can be high moisture, high humidity. Right? But that problem can be easily controlled, as I said, by using some agro-pesticides that are recommended.
Once they have started sprouting, be sure to keep them protected from direct sunlight, especially the harsh midday sun. The nursery is designed to nourish the plantlets and to protect them from the harsh weather conditions, while allowing them access to just enough light and ventilation. Monitor the plantlets carefully and regularly to ensure that they are not being attacked by pests or diseases. Check to ensure that they are healthy and show signs of vigorous growth.
The most common pests you can look out for is caterpillars, mites, and probably some budworms, and sometimes leaf miner. But all these pests can be controlled by pesticides, which is available. Subsequently to your care of your seedlings, you then introduce the seedlings, what we call thinning off. Right? You would look at the health of the seedlings. After you have sowed the seeds and you have gone through the process and the seedlings start to grow, some of the problems you can identify, some pest problems. If there is pest problems, you should monitor for that. And also you will look at the health of the seedlings, and if you need to apply what you call a soluble fertilizer.
Now that your seedlings have 2 to 3 true leaves, they are ready for transplanting.
So you go in there and you take your time. You're dealing with baby's hair. As you can see, we have all our roots intact. That's very important for the plant. Okay, and we are going to use that same nail again to open up. Okay,
fine.
that's there. Okay, your root system is intact, you have all your roots there. And we are going in there again. You open up nicely to put your plant. See to it that all your roots are in there. And most important, do not put it too deep. Do not put it too deep in the seedling trays. After we have done all that, we have what we call the thinning out process. You're going to see the finished product, and that's the finished product. But the most essential thing about it is to care, and we emphasized quite a bit earlier on caring for these plants. Sufficient water need to apply. Always keep your seedlings moist. If not, it's going to die. Okay, that's one of the key things. And also do not water too much. We emphasize quite a lot on that. Okay, you're going to have some problems. And we are looking at the next 2 weeks and a half. These plants going to be ready for the field, okay, or for the soil rather. Okay, so that should be clear enough for us to understand.
Remember, before sowing, ensure that the seeds are viable, meaning they have not expired. Prepare a growing medium using peat moss or a compost mixture. Add sufficient water and mix to uniformity before placing it in the tray or in your box. In each cell, insert one seed in a hole about ½ an inch deep, then cover lightly. Sprinkle with water regularly so that the medium in the cell is always moist. Monitor the plantlets carefully and regularly to ensure that they are not being attacked by pests or diseases. Check to ensure that they are healthy and show signs of vigorous growth. Once your seedlings have 2 to 3 true leaves, they are ready for transplanting.
In our next program, we will help you to select the right site to start off your garden and the preparations needed to get started. Until then, I am Vernet James. Thank you for joining us.